Robert Heffernan with EndoTech. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our show talking cryptocurrencies, things in the matrix. I am a master endotechnician, and wow, what if, I got to tell you, we've been waiting a long time for this. I was just starting to do some test broadcasts in 2017 when they moonshotted. I did a broadcast where I talked about them launching futures at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and that the don't bet was going to come in, and you had to be aware of the don't bet because it's a powerful thing when both sides of the market get to have action placed on it. And we suffered all of the 18 on just a dismal debacle of a break. Brutal to be involved with. I stayed on the sidelines most of the way as I did not short these things. And now, for the past several months, I've been talking about a building bottom here, about trying to turn the semi around on the highway, about how it takes time to affect the potentiality on the weekly and the monthly charts. And that once that happens, we might be able to talk about a bull story, about the bull rising, like the phoenix from the ashes. And man, do we have that going on right now. So you know what? Before we do that, before we talk about the price action, let's do the rounds. Doing the rounds, my chance to talk about a headline or a tweet or something that I'm seeing in the market. Yesterday I was adamant about not seeing anything, and I still haven't seen a legitimate article talking about flash crash or flash rallies that we've seen on Bitfinex. And I will wait and see that. I actually posed a question to Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, for his thoughts on exactly that. And I did that on the Twitter sphere. I've not seen anything in a response from him. But anyway, this headline caught my eye. Bitcoin price. Brian Kelly reveals just how high this rally will go. I love that. I mean, what a misleading headline. They just mislead. I mean, he talks about the first level of resistance, not how high this thing will go. And, we will talk about the potentiality on that weekly and monthly chart in the vitals section. And for me, you have to look at those longer-term charts to see exactly where it can go. And then once it goes parabolic on the monthly, all bets are off the table on where this thing can go. Because now you need to bring back, John McAfee and maybe Tommy Lee and these people that were just throwing out monster price predictions. For me, I think this is several months down the road, the way that the price discovery will evolve. But first, we need to turn the full truck around on that monthly. And we are making headway. Believe me, we're making headway. Actually had Bitcoin futures on. We are fully going to be involved in the futures markets coming up very shortly and doing segments on them. And I got to tell you one thing that you can't, there's always hindsight, right? I had a great trade on and took it off too early in hindsight. Like, I did not see this thing exploding to the level that it went to that quickly. And I rang the register. And there's nothing wrong with ringing the register. You got to ring the register. All right, and then you buy on breaks in this market. If we're going into a truly bull market, you need to be taking profit or risk off on explosive action, and then you re-enter on pullbacks. That's how you do it long term. All right, listen, let's take the vitals and talk about real price action. Taking the vitals, my chance to talk about the price discovery going on, and we got a moonshot on our hands here. Bitcoin 5,015, right? 5,015, completely outperforming the daily, the weekly. Wait a second. I forgot. Oh, Dash. I'm talking about Dash this week. If you want to hear Bitcoin, you got to be an EndoTech subscriber. Oh my goodness, I almost blew it here. Dash Dash was the first one to show completely parabolic action at Bitfinex as it ran to 185. And right now, Dash trading at Bitfinex 129.42, trading 127.21. Now, for me, since we have that print and we have to deal with it, please be reminded of that with your Dash numbers, all right? Because that price discovery is in the chart. All I'm telling you is I think that the up momentum collar is a little bit skewed. If you look at the same numbers on Kraken, it'd be more like 137 for that upmo collar, and the upmo would be more like 112 rather than 114. We got a moonshot in all of these things going here, so you really got to, fractal out, right? Fractal out, and the monthly moving average in Dash is 186.34, the price discovery that we already established at Bitfinex. So over time here, for me, you got to let this thing run. You could take some profit at that 137 at Kraken, 142, right, at Bitfinex. You look at the target, and again, the target is skewed because of that price action still in there, and it's going to take a while for that, as far as I'm concerned, that bad print or that bad price discovery out of the market. I got to tell you something. In many, many years of trading commodities, when you had a ridiculous blow-off, top or bottom, it was very, very likely that over time the market would revisit that price discovery, even if at the time it seemed ridiculous and it seemed out of line, out of proportion, illogical. All of those things might be true, but the market has a tendency, just like it has a tendency to fill gaps, it has a tendency to re-explore ludicrous price discovery areas. Not to mention the fact that longer term, it went right to the area that I thought it would go to, that monthly moving average area, 186.34. They made a high of 185. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing in Dash. For me, you got to mind the mo. You got to let some of this run. You could take profits at third targets or at the upmo collar on the daily and re-enter at some other price point on shorter term charts that you're watching, shorter term or value ranges. I'm going to tell you something right now too. Don't be surprised when there is incredible volatility and price action both ways. I mean, just look at this at Dash right now. Dash trading 126. It can go all the way down to 114 and still be an up momentum on the daily. So you got to be prepared for wild swings in this type of market, especially as we go parabolic. All right, so that's what I'm looking at Dash. Please subscribe at EndoTech.io for the full actionable trading content. And I'm going to say see you later, YouTube.